This is the girl you need to ask about salsa. She knows everything. She knows history. She knows what is salsa, and she got the most experience in Cyprus about that. How did it happen, and how did you come to this dance? Why salsa?
It started a bit strangely because I was doing other kinds of dances, and I was at the University of Cyprus, Nicosia, and they have these dance programs. So I had a break between my other dances, and Christos is a guy that was teaching back then. He told me, "Why don't you help me?" And I said, "Salsa. I cannot do that. I cannot move like that." I was, more rough. And he said, "Okay, come and do the man steps. Help me with the ladies." Back then, it was even more difficult to get leaders to join. So I started dancing salsa as a man. Because I didn't.
That was my next question.
I didn't want to do, this and the salsa stuff and this. I said, no, I don't do that with my body. No. And at some point, I got hooked to it because it's so fun and because it's a social dance. You go out and you meet people and you dance with people. And suddenly, I had about 30 new friends I never knew before, in 1 month, because Christos was telling me the clubs to go and the places to be. And I remember the exams came, and he tells me, "Eleni, give exams, you are good." And I tell him, "Christo, I only know masters. Can I give exams as a man?" And he said, "Oh no, let's practice." And I got the lady steps, and I never stopped again. Actually, for a period of time, I stopped everything else. It was just salsa for me.
How many years are you in this? Never thought about that?
No, I'm just showing my age. It's 17 years.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. So you actually started salsa at the main beginning when it started in Cyprus?
Yes, exactly. And back then it was very difficult to find a good place to dance, to find leaders, to meet the level. And when I came to Limassol, to Nikos and Evan here at the school, they became my mentors, let's say, and also my family in a way, because they started pushing me going abroad.
Mm-hmm.
And I started traveling.
Okay.
And back then, if you paid, let's say, 500, let's say euros, people were calling me crazy. "Are you paying that much money to go and learn salsa abroad?" Yes. And I did, and I went to places that nobody knew back then. I went to congresses when in Cyprus we didn't have this idea of traveling for dancing.
And what shows were you attending, or not shows, the congresses? It's in which countries?
Well, it's everywhere. We have also one in Cyprus, a really good one, that Christos is doing the Cyprus Salsa Congress. But
you already mentioned Christos a couple of times. Who is the guy?
Well, in Cyprus, he's the organizer of Cyprus Salsa Congress.
Okay.
He was my first salsa teacher. And he's doing a really good work because back then in Cyprus we had nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you wanted to know salsa, you travel.
Okay, so you had
That's
to go.
Yes. We had good teachers and we had ways to learn, but you had to travel. And so I did. But then Cyprus became stronger and stronger. And right now, I feel like I really like the level of Cyprus itself. It's really good. There are many clubs, many parties, many good schools. Mm-hmm. It's really good, right now.
Now, before we speak about Cyprus and salsa, let's educate the viewers about what ways of salsa they can experience, or what types, what classes. For example, I am the beginner, I am Rocky, I never heard about salsa at all. So let's tell them, salsa is a Latin dance, correct?
Yes.
And the roots of salsa are coming from...
Okay, they come from Cuba, let's say, but if we dig into it, it's from Africa. Yes, the rhythm is from Africa. And
that's going to be a surprise for many people.
Yes, actually yes, because the rhythm came from there, and then it was sung, and then the salsa traveled around in America, New York, Spanish Harlem, and cultures united. One time, I asked at a bar, it was a guy from Puerto Rico, a guy from Cuba, and a guy from I don't remember, and I made the mistake asking him, where is salsa from? I was young, I didn't know, we had a fight. They had a fight. Because salsa, a lot of cultures came together to make that. But the origin is African rhythm.
Oh, wow.
And then it was song, rhythm, and it goes on and on.
It means there are different types.
There are.
I know it's Cuban, I know it's Los Angeles, and...
New York style, there's Colombian style, Puerto Rico style.
Okay, so it's... What are the main three, let's say? General styles, maybe two, which you would call that...
We would say Cubana, Cuban salsa, of course.
Traditional.
Yes, salsa on one, which is the LA style, and the New York style.
So the main ones, Cuban,
LA,
and New York. Which of those you can learn in Cyprus?
Mostly Cuban and LA. New York style, it's a bit new to us, but we are having right now New York style in Cyprus.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them are like really, really nice. All of them are salsa, and a beginner can learn any of those.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's suited and you feel okay with it, you feel the music, it's salsa.
Would it be correct if I'm going to start classes, first to try one and other, to know which clicks with me?
It would be a good idea if you try to find what's good for you.
Okay. And let's say I chose Cuban and I went to the classes. Usually there are a couple of levels. I never tried, and I'm afraid to go to the class and see professionals dancing around, turning around like athletes, and they're high and don't know how to move at all. Or I never heard the rhythm in my life and I don't know how to.
Actually, most schools are very protective of beginners. You will not go there and see people twirling around you, like kill you with stress. No, you will start very safely and with the right teachers and the right mood.
Mm-hmm.
It's like in 2 months you will be able to join a club, and slowly, slowly you will meet people. The key to salsa is to be able to meet and dance with people because it's a social dance.
Mm-hmm.
So for a beginner, I would suggest like relax and enjoy. Feel the music as much as possible. Don't stress. There's no reason. Anybody can learn salsa. It's a bit difficult at the beginning. It is, but believe me, so many years I've seen so many people learning salsa. Any age, any kind of body type, any kind of height. I'm 183, as you know. I'm sitting now, but I'm 183. With the heels, I'm 190. And I danced for 17 years.
Alright.
And it's like my advice to the beginners, if you like it, don't let anyone tell you differently.
Yeah. And every time people speak about dancing, men are listening, oh, I'm sure there's mainly ladies and no men. Is it true? How is it in salsa?
Well, the analogy, it's always more ladies,
Okay.
actually.
Men, listen to this.
So it's good for men.
Okay.
But lately, men have been coming strong. And I would suggest men would learn to dance because it's really good for the way they move, the way they move with the lady, the way they treat the lady, the way they communicate with the lady. It's like they become more fluent, let's say, with their body language. I have seen men coming here and they were afraid, like, to touch my hands. And now they are dancing and going to clubs, and it's like, I think especially for men, it's really, really a good kind of an exercise. They soften their movement in a good way. I mean, and the energy, especially in salsa, can be very fast, very athletic, very like strong. You need fitness to do that.
Yeah.
So they meet a lot of people.
I saw the gym downstairs in this stuff. So people are actually dancing and they go to the gym at the same time, or they heat themselves up by doing some exercise on the
Before
machines?
dancing, of course, you have to find a way to heat your body for safety. And we have the gym. You can go separately to the gym, or you can go to the dance floor immediately. But for sure, you need a certain level of fitness.
Mm-hmm.
Because after a level, for example, if you go, let's say, intermediate in dancing and above, and you really want to like go on stage and add speed and acrobatics and strong stuff, you need to be fit.
Beginners are coming to the classes, they don't need any kind of special fitness. They can start step by step.
Just a good spirit.
Yeah, and then they turn to intermediate, they already are fitter, they proceed with more extreme classes if they wish. They can also stay on the level they
Of
want.
course, it's a matter of choice. There is a bit of something for everyone. You decide at what level you want to go.
What about kids and elderly?
Kids are the nicest. I have some girls and a boy here, and we're working with them, and they really enjoy the way they can move your body, because most of them are dancing other kinds of dance, hip-hop, ballet, contemporary, and with salsa, what they are telling us that they feel more free, because it can be crazy.
They're having amazing fun.
They do, because the ladies get more, do more lady stuff, and the guys start to communicate with the ladies. And it's a nice way of communicating, dancing.
Yeah, that's nice. And also, if they're joining salsa classes, they become like a member of community of salsa.
Yes.
What's happening here in Cyprus with salsa community? How you can get to these parties, let's say, and is there something else rather than parties?
So we have the classes, of course, in different schools, and then we have the parties. The parties are happening throughout the year, different places, depending on the season. We have pool parties, beach parties, club parties, every town, every place, even in villages. Sometimes we do, yes, and you get very well informed through your school. But also, there are a lot of posts in Facebook, there are some pages, and there are pages like Salsa in Cyprus, latindance.com, or even school pages that they post the events. And you can even send a message to the schools and they will reply you with all the local events. People from abroad come here for holidays, they text us, they don't know me. I'm like, hello, of course, and I send them 10 links of events. Like, for the next 10 days, we'll be in Cyprus, I've got you covered. And then they come to the parties and they look for me. This Eleni, she said that's very good things, like, thank you, Eleni. Can I buy you a drink, and from everywhere.
Lots of free drinks for you.
I don't really drink, actually, so, and it's mostly ladies, coming to dance. And I met a lot of people like that. You cannot imagine how many people come from abroad, and they're salsa dancers, and salsa is like, it's a sickness. It's like, you get mania, like you have to get it. You have withdrawal symptoms if you don't. So you go on holidays and you want to do that. And in Cyprus, there are a lot of places to do that.
And in our weather conditions, that's also
They love it.
like salsa plus weather in Cyprus, that's amazing.
And for example, in Cyprus, we had events in a hotel, the Crown Plaza Hotel, you were dancing and then in the pool. And we had the Columbia Beach and it was the sea by there, and also an environment.
You can dance and go to the swim.
Yes, and of course, we had swimming suits and we were waiting to close the museum of stars and the pool in the sea. And even in the winter, we have a lot of clubs. We have Seven Seas, we have other town clubs. It's like, you can find a lot of opportunities.
All cities have some parties. Okay, so you can travel around Cyprus and party. Dancing salsa.
What do you mean?
That's your lifestyle, okay.
That's right. Like, where are we going this Friday? Because let's go like my for a change, it's been a while. I used to travel like crazy.
All the time.
We were carpooling. Like, who wants to go? Okay, how many cars do we fit? We have 10 people, we can fit in 3 cars.
Amazing. What about this Paphos event you told me, this Congress of Salsa, or how you call it?
Protaras.
In Protaras.
Yes.
What's happening there? The organizer was, so remind me the name?
Christian.
Okay, so he's organizing this event and there is a program. I know that it's not only one day, right? So it's like a weekend of salsa dancing.
It starts Thursday night and it goes until Monday noon, Monday afternoon.
Wow.
And it's like, imagine a hotel where there's constant, like all the time music, everywhere dancers, everywhere. And there's a pool party, then there's a lobby party, and then there's the other party, and the after party, and then. And you also have classes with people coming from abroad, like big names for us, big names. Maybe you don't know them, but I'm like, oh, he's coming, I have to be there, you know. And excellent teachers, like he brings the best. Yes, and then we go having shows, and also Cypriot dancers with the showcases. And then 6, 7, 8 o'clock a.m. we go for breakfast. Yes.
So you are going to this event and you see amazing stars dancing, showing amazing dance style. You can learn from them. Then you see a lot of local groups performing.
Also a really good thing.
And then there are some classes as well. You are practicing something.
The big part of the congress is a class.
Ah, so you are going to experience new levels and
all levels, all kinds of dancing. There is even tango, which is considered to work differently than us, but it's there. Zouk dancing, bachata, kizomba, hip hop, fusion classes which combine two kinds of dance like hip hop salsa, let's say, reggaeton, anything actually, with really good teachers. And now he's organizing the bachata one. It's a new first time, which is more focused on the bachata. It's a different dance.
these are subcategories of salsa.
No, bachata is not salsa, it's different dance.
Okay.
Bachata and kizomba, but at one party you can meet all three of them. It's like the gang.
Usually in Cyprus we meet a lot of tourists. What about them? You told me that there are lots of them who are going to these parties. They are there accidentally, or they somehow get to know about this from our tourism organizations, or
Mostly through the dance school pages. For example, when I went to Las Vegas, I texted the school there.
okay.
I googled it, dance schools in Vegas. So that's what they do. They text us and we get them the link. Or you can go to page like Salsa in Cyprus, Bachata in Cyprus, things like that, Latin dance, Cyprus Latin dance. But mostly it's like through schools. For example, we traveled abroad, they met us, and then they had friends coming to Cyprus and they said they look for Eleni, look for Bailando SALSA school, and they texted me and like, that guy said, oh, you know that guy, and we hooked them up.
Yeah, you also can walk on the street and just see a couple of people dancing salsa in the park. You can accidentally see them anywhere.
Yes. You know, I've danced salsa in the Grand Canyon. I have a video on YouTube. I will send it to you after. We dance salsa in the Grand Canyon. You can dance salsa everywhere.
And wait. Grand Canyon and music, is it like Bluetooth GBL speaker?
Because we didn't have a lot, we were traveling, like, we went to dance and
So you were just walking around Grand Canyon looking at the amazing views and, hey guys, it's time for salsa.
I tell my dance partner, Maria, we need to dance. No, salsa. So people put the music, Laura took the camera and we started dancing and people started leaving from the... There were two ladies there and they just left.
They were just jealous, they wanted to dance as well.
I think they were like, what are they doing? But it's nice. I'll send you the video.
Amazing. Let's go.